was a beautiful morning in Los Santos. Freight was just finishing a run when he saw a brown streak who looked to be on the verge of an existential crisis. "Are you alright?" asked Freight. "I can't complain," Brown Streak started, but Freight wasn't convinced. He wanted to cheer his friend up, Freight wanted to cheer his friend up. And eventually, Brown Streak spoke up again. "I love my branch line, but I can't help but wonder what's beyond the blockade that stops us from entering Las Venturas." Freight tended to the little brown streak and said rather sagely, "Sometimes the best travels are those we can only dream about." But Brown Streak hadn't been listening. He was lost in his thoughts about how he was going to charge through that blockade the moment an opportunity presented itself. Later that day, Brown Streak was getting ready for his cargo load, which was only half a mile long because none of the map was unlocked yet. He was just about to head out when he felt something fall onto him. Ah! He looked back and saw it was one of the local gang members. Oh! And another. Ow! And another. The leading gang member ran to the front of Brown Streak and asked him to drive as fast as he could. "Could you do that for me?" he asked politely. "Oh, yes, I can," smiled Brown Streak while somehow making eye contact. Just as Brown Streak began to leave, a motorbike pulled up onto the platform. CJ, the driver, let out a sigh, as if to say this wasn't the first time he had done this today. Brown Streak had sped off like never before, but the chasers weren't ready to give up. "We've got to get those fools, CJ!" the heavier set one hollered. "Follow the train!" And the chase was on. Presently, a Glendale was taking a break on the crossing while his driver was... Oh. Suddenly, everyone began to fire their weapons. Bang! Bang! Digger! Bang, bang, bang! But the heavyset one was not hitting anything whatsoever. One of the gang members slipped and was clinging desperately onto Brown Streak. At last, the chasers had a perfect aim of one of the gang members when... Brown Streak was exhausted. He wasn't used to running at high speeds and bikes shooting at him. He felt like giving up all hope, when suddenly, just around the corner, his luck started to change. There was a barrier blocking the other track. "Take the high road on the right," said the heavyset fellow. They managed to dodge the barrier just in time. "Look, the fizzling firebox is out, CJ, the train!" Brown Streak could see Las Venturas. It was far away in the distance, but to Brown Streak it looked closer than ever. The gang members had no idea about the blockade on Frederick Bridge, and when it came into view, they were absolutely terrified. But Brown Streak wasn't ready to give up on his dreams. "I'm gonna ice these fools, man!" "You've done it! Hooray!" cheered the gang members. Brown Streak's face may have been bruised, but as he oiled away to a new adventure, he couldn't have been any happier. CJ and the heavy-set fellow weren't allowed on the other island. They slowed to a halt, but they were still determined. "We'll try again tomorrow," said the heavy-set fellow. "After all you have to do is follow the damn train, CJ!"